Peace and love. This is Chi Vital, aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkit. Today, I want to discuss with you love, death, and grief, but mostly surviving what feels like a death is really like such, and how do you move forward? All right, so I'm gonna wait for you all to tune in. Let me know that you're here. Hashtag HOC, hashtag Shadowwork, hashtag Occult College. All right, I am about to get started. Let me give y'all a minute to tune in. What's up, Mrs. T143? Welcome. If you're new to the gang, let me know that you're new and where you're tuning in from. I'm not. Hey, Jig Ace. How y'all doing? Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. All right, y'all. What was it that I saw? Oh, that's what it is. Hold on. Woo. That buzzing sound is just a little too much for me. All right. So you can get your notebooks out. Really, you can get your journal together. You know that I like for you to enjoy a bit of introspection. Call me the Queen of Cups, if you will. That is really the energy that I'm coming with today, where I want to address some things. I have a book that I want to share with you all that really helps both men and women who are in the field of magic, not just spirituality, but of magic, to understand some of the ideals, some of the ups and downs of manifesting what it is that you are seeking to evolve into for yourself and all those aspects of your life, including your relationships. And especially today, like, I really do want to give you some energy towards your relationships and building them and understanding some of the energetic dynamics that you may be experiencing personally, and what they really are revealing to you about your journey. Okay? If you with me, let me see some fire emojis, because I love to talk about these kind of things. And so it's pretty lit. It's pretty lit. Okay? All right. So let me see. I really like to come to you all with a story. So let's see, how do I begin? All right, so let's think about the foundations, right? Foundations. We're talking about love. We're talking about spirituality in the realm of magic, in the realm of this shadow work that you're doing, okay? And so there's your context. Okay, so this is not like your mundane guy meets girl, girl meets guy, whoever meets whoever, all that jazz. This is not that. This is deeper than that. This is paying attention to the stones in your path, the grass, the flowers, the snakes, the rainy days, the sunny days, and how they relate to where you are on your journey. Okay? Most importantly, you setting the tone for the foundation. Okay? So a lot of times, this is really only going to apply to those of you who are magical. Just real talk. Like I said, there's not like a mundane sudden death trial when it comes to love if you're not in a magical state of being. For those of you who are magical as hell, and y'all know, you might notice a trend like of feeling very much alone even when you meet with other people. And there's times where you connect And the energy seems to tell you like this is an awesome opportunity for growth. But during that meeting, there are these contracts that are made. And one of the hardest parts of that contract is that there is a commitment to growth. And the growth is not just external. The growth is not pigeonholed to what you see on the outside. It is an internal growth that to the naked eye, some people may not recognize, including yourself. Okay? And while the reason we come together is because the growth really seems to be on the outside, where you feel good, you're shining, everything is growing, it's obvious, right? You got the obvious glow up that occurs. That's really like the bait, okay? When it comes to what you're building. The bait is going to tell you like, oh yeah, this feels good, this is awesome, this is gonna work. But what grows you in that commitment, in that contract, are going to be a bit of deaths along the way. Because when you're really dealing with chemistry, you're dealing with these elements, you all started delving into alchemy. If you don't experience things within that face-off, right? Literally a face-off. If you don't experience circumstances that ask you to remove some of those faces, then you truly never get into the lab and begin to understand what power you truly have and what power you truly bring to a situation. So one of the things when it comes to the sudden death rounds in a relationship that you want to have longevity in is that you're going to come to a place where it's let it go and move forward, or resist whatever it is that is being asked of you to let go of and get stagnant, hit a plateau. Okay? Now, it's very simple in theory, but this part of relating is what calls us to a higher plane of faith in ourselves, confidence in the elements at play, and like a high regard for what is it that you defined as love for another human being coming from you. Okay? Naturally, some people are very attuned to what it's going to take to go through a death and be there long enough to see the beauty of the just ugliness of the skin that sheds away afterwards. All right? Transformation in that period of time of where things are being asked of you by spirit, things are being asked of you by your mate, things are being asked of you by your children, that bring up all of the things, the insecurities, the fears, the memories of, oh, well, I did this last time and I don't want to do this again, and I don't want to open up again, or I don't want to lose something. It's important that when you're doing this kind of work that you recognize all the things that you are writing down that you don't want to do. Okay? Because all the things that you don't want to do are offering you an opportunity to really level up on what is it that you're asking for. It's like the universe in itself doesn't really owe you anything. All right? But it's willing to play this game with you because all of this is, it doesn't have to stay the same. It doesn't stay the same. Like, it obviously doesn't stay the same. But if you're going to be in a space where you're asking to receive a certain lifestyle, to receive a certain level of synchronicity between you and another individual, the way you came to it is not the way you're going to leave it. If you come into a situation, into a relationship with anyone, okay, and you leave it the same, then you've wasted your time. All right? What we learn through this work is to look forward to those deaths along the way. All right? Because if you don't die, you do not come back better. Death is on the road to evolution. So if you want to hold on tight to how it is that you've been being, because you feel so optimal and so perfect in what it is, and everything and person that comes along the way is wrong, then you'll get stuck. You understand? You'll get stuck. Sometimes these deaths even ask us to challenge these I'll just put it out there. You know how you can go to see someone for whatever readings and they tell you, oh, this is in store for you and that's in store for you, right? And like you go there with the intention of believing that this guidance is for you. But then as you start to experience any hardships, through your clinging, the hardships are like the painful clinging to what is changing, right? Maybe the plan changes, maybe the goal changes, maybe the leadership changes, maybe the team structure changes, right? Clinging to what was the initial thing causes all of this upset inside, right? And then you go, I'm supposed to, but like, I got this reading, or I got this premonition, I got this feeling like everything is just perfect. It's going to work out the way that I see it's going to. But when you're doing this work, those are the times where you're challenged to say, well, if I want to reach this higher place, then am I willing to die from what I'm experiencing and step into the fire and move forward? Am I ready to realize that I'm not so alone? I'm not just this drop of water, but not to be cliche, but this drop of water is the entire ocean. So like, you have to understand which place of the journey you are in. Are you the drop of water in that moment, or are you becoming the ocean in that moment? And every time you return back to source, that's the death, and you feel it. Does that make sense? One second, I need to get some water. Booyah. God resides in me. All right. So let's look at spiritual love. Let's look at how come, you have these very powerful people that you may see. And I know some of y'all do this for yourselves, and you watch shows or you meet people and you're like, oh my God, like this person and that person should be together. I should be with this person and that person should be with me because we're just so perfect, right? But when it comes to these spiritual alignments, what happens is the lessons are very, very strong. And sometimes there needs to be a place where there's another journey that allows for integration of what's happening. You know, if you get very powerful, let's say electrons, like they're buzzing, right? They may have a hard time coming together and working in this unit. Sometimes that energy is so powerful, it just shoots off electrons. But imagine you being that molecule where you're so active, right? That you lose an electron and it changes your chemistry. If you see yourself as that person and you feel like you've lost some of your power, right, so to say, what happens is it opens a way for compounds to occur. That energy is not lost. It's picked up in another realm where something needed that piece. So not to complicate it too much, but it brings us back to why we must look to embrace these periods of time that are asking us to choose a different kind of behavior than what you're used to giving. Choose a different outcome than what you're clinging to. Even if that means choosing the unknown. Can you love and respect the process enough and really live up to the claim that you are a magician? You are choosing your lives to stick through it, to follow through what it is that's going on for you. And know that every time that you die, every time that you release something, every time something breaks off, something new is beginning to grow outside of what you can see. It's a constant. Unless you're totally like, you have no energy, you're like dead, final death, like that's it, right? But there's nothing that says that you cannot grow from a new beginning, even if it's a new beginning in between something that's already in the works. Every time that occurs, that gives you the opportunity to reset the foundation in such a way that you can recalibrate your emotions. Because sometimes we move too quickly. When you're going through that death process, you want to move immediately. You want to do, but you need to be in that space of calm. Look at the things that are quality about whatever you experienced and what you're bringing into your life moving forward. This is the same thing for anything you're manifesting. If you do not return to that sense of calm, that stability of the emotions, of what it is that you desire, you mess up your magic. And then recognize that no matter what is going on in your life, you can tap into your love, your compassion, your empathy. Because when you are in this space, you're letting go and something else is letting go as well. Whether it's you letting go of who you were before and becoming someone new, if you're letting go of the way a relationship was built so something new can come forth, there's a period where that level of compassion, that love, to see and understand and not focus on what's right and what's not right, but to see and understand, to feel and to be able to hear clearly outside of finger pointing and blaming, then you can survive your death. You can survive that death before death. You can learn to kind of shake off what's just not moving. If it's not moving, you have to get present with what wants to shake. shake it, shake it, shake it. All right. One of the books that was very helpful for me um, during a period of time in my life where I was really, really like trying to figure out what is preventing me from really experiencing the kind of mutual magic in a relationship that I was desiring, right? This book is like yellow, right? But it came to me at the right time back then, and it helped me to embrace what it means to be a goddess, to be a magical being, to live outside the realms of basic mundane practicality and live in a space of true abundance and acceptance for a journey that is going to grow me. Because I don't want to stay doing the same thing all the time, forever and ever and ever. Amen. And that's it. Life's goals is growth. So one of my favorite authors, his name is Paulo Coelho, right? A lot of you know him from The Alchemist. And this book, Brita, it's a classic. I don't know if any of you have ever read it because I don't see it often. But in a sense, he's a great storyteller. He really is. It helps you to understand some of what you experience in your love relationships as magical beings, honestly, and how to recognize the wisdom of those teachers in the spiritual realm that come before you and really challenge you, because true spiritual teachers will challenge you to do things that scare you. Because in order to level up, you got to build real strong faith and trust in what's guiding you. If you don't know that by now, you have not been put to the fire. Trust and believe. Okay? There are parts of initiation where you like, you want me to what? Everything was all like, oh, you singing, you feeling good. Then they're like, all right, now we're going to do this. You like, what part is this? Those are the parts that are unseen where you get to die. And you got to know why you're going to go through that. Because if you don't know why, I mean, like, pack it up. If you don't know why, you don't know what you're doing, pack it up and just leave it alone. Because really, this life is not for the faint of heart. All right? So again, this book, for those of you who love something to read, give your mind a little space to get out of just the rigmarole. Brita is a wonderful book. You can read it in a day or two. And let me know what you think about that. Oh, I appreciate you too, Mrs. T and Dr. Emerald Jade. Y'all have any questions? I have some other notes, but I think I pretty much got the point across. Because I know sometimes that death that occurs while you're doing this work can be challenging. So just a bit of, it's okay, boo-boo. It's okay. You still here, you still breathing. Exactly. You cannot rush the process. And y'all talking about alchemy, you're talking about completely changing something. You're talking about completely changing something. So it has to, you can't like have the one thing, you got the catalyst, and then boom. If you still have the materials you started with, you didn't truly experience alchemy, now did you? You've got to have something different. Something totally different. Like, how did I get that from these things? And it's no longer these things. Like, you can't burn paper, get the ashes, and be like, it's paper. It's something totally different. You get what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. But trust, you are going to be fine. You know, the potential is great, but you'll be fine if you recognize that you have the opportunity to lay things out and take action little by little, and the rest will come. It won't just come to you. It ain't a free ride. You got to put in work. But at least you got to the rope where you got to cut it, and now you go on to the next. So when you see it coming, just be like, all right, trust me, it will help you not slit your wrists when you go, okay, like, I'm going to go through this. This is about to happen. And, you know, you go to your safe places and you have your reinforcements and you go in. That's how you find stability too, emotionally. Because you got to have that, or else you just lose your freaking mind. You don't want to lose this. Don't lose this, and don't lose this. No matter what you go through, keep your heart in the right place, no matter what. All right? You got to sleep at night. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Peace, love, and bliss. I will catch up with y'all another time. I'm out.